We were the second NFT project. At least V1s were the second NFT project.
Yeah, V1s were, V2s were the third. But we were the first generative art project.
Yeah, very first generative art project. This would be a funny story, right? It's kind of known in the ecosystem. But dude, we worked, I don't know, 2.5 weeks, like all-nighters, no sleep. And I'm not dramatizing this. It was like a very stressful 2-week sprint. We get them set up. Okay, we're going to do 1,000 Mandlebrots. We launch. Okay, in like 30 seconds, 10 of them sell out. Like just immediately, boom. When we were going to be the night before, we were like, man, if we sell one, I'm going to be stoked, right? Like nobody knows us. We don't, know anything. 30 seconds in, 10 of them sell out. And then we start to see error logs. Boom, boom, transaction failed, transaction failed.
No.
Plutus, I'll hand it over to you.
The drama.
Yeah, so we had gone over this smart contract so many times at this point. So many times. And I wanted to do one last check that everything worked properly before we deployed it. I liked checking to see when you mint out, when all of them have been minted, does it stop minting and like does it error out correctly? I was like, well, I don't want to run it, 1,000 times in my test environment because I want to, I want to get through that quickly. So I'll just change the mint limit to 10.
That's fair.
And,
That's fair.
Make sure it works. It worked, but then I forgot to change the mint limit back to 1,000.
Oh, rough.
Yep.
Rough.
And that's, that was like a 4 a.m. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over and deploy it and everything. Stupid, sleepless mistake.
So did you have to do it all again, but with another 1,000?
Yeah, so we re-released it and just airdropped the first 10 to the people who had minted those.
There are some V1s out there. We know most of the owners. And but yeah, there are some V1s floating around, 10 of them to be precise.
Man, those have to be super rare compared to the rest of them, I'm assuming, right? It's like just the story behind it is like, oh, it was this glitch, Plutus forgot to put a comma in this spot and it's only released 10 of them. Man,
yeah,
that's cool.
It's the Plutus is an idiot collection.
But that was that initial conversation of just like, hey, let's learn. How do we accelerate our learning curve as fast as possible? And so we started with how do you even build an NFT? And we started with a generative art project first.
Okay. So that means you wrote some code into the smart contract and the code makes a pretty art piece. You don't really have any say in it and it just does something, right? Am I making this?
That's so mystical sounding right now.
That's what it feels like.
The code is the artist, man.
It does the thing.
Give us your mom's explanation of that, please.
It's not far off.
Thank you.
But basically, yeah, we wrote a program that generated these art pieces based on something called the Mandlebrot set. And it's an equation that when you graph it, it creates a fractal. A fractal is something that no matter it's infinitely complex. And so no matter what part of this fractal that you look at, there's always kind of infinite complexity. So we thought that was, we like math and we thought that was a cool concept. And the images that it makes are really, really interesting. And so we're like, we're not really artists. The only thing we have is math. So but we should probably stick with something like this. And yeah, it just randomly generates images based on the program that we wrote. And then those are referenced in the smart contract, as Obsidian mentioned before. You store the metadata on a decentralized storage service, and then it becomes an NFT.
He's messing a little bit here. I mean, I should just rewind here. This wasn't hey, we just had this dream. It was we banged our head against a wall for 3 weeks. There's no documentation, right? There kind of is. Sachs Foundation, if you're listening to this, we love the documentation you put together. We'd love some more. But it's that's what we had to start. How do you even get one of these things off the ground? And thankfully, the Stacks community, right? If you go back 4 months ago, you're going to see Obsidian and Plutus asking the stupidest questions ever. I'm just how do you even do this? And thankfully the community is amazing. And like the people, from the very beginning, like some of the best engineers like Frieger and all these guys actually will talk to you, right? It's that early. It's so early that the people who wrote the specifications for NFTs, you can talk with them directly.
Wow.